Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the 7th round of the 1954 season, the Swiss Grand Prix. But before we begin, I'd like to apologize for a small oversight in the last video. Specifically, I forgot to mention something that took place at the German Grand Prix, or rather during qualifying practice for the German Grand Prix. And this is quite important. So what happened was, during practice, Onofre Marimon lost control of his car, which flipped over. He was flung out of the car, which landed on top of him, crushing him and killing him instantly. Marimon was the first driver to lose his life during a Formula 1 championship event, not including the Indianapolis 500. Of course, there were other deaths, but most of those were during non-championship races. Anyway, as a result of this, I've made some slight changes to the standings table to reflect his death. Also, I will no longer mention his name during races, even though we will see his car, and he will no longer appear on the race results screen either. So again, I apologize for this oversight. I was planning on talking about, but it kind of slipped my mind. So with all that said, let's get back to today's video. The Swiss Grand Prix was held on the 22nd of August. It had 19 entries, 17 of them took part in the race, and there were 9 retirements. The race consisted of 66 laps, completed in 3 hours and 34 seconds. Gonzalez qualified in pole, Fangio second, Moss third, Trintignant fourth and Carl Klink fifth. Fangio went on to win the race from Gonzalez, who came home in second, 57.8 seconds later. Hermann finished in third, he was 1 lap down, Mieres fourth, he was 2 laps down, and rounding off the top 5 was Sergio Mantovani, he was also 2 laps down. On lap 34, Juan Manuel Fangio posted the fastest time of the race, a 2 minute 39.7 second lap. Alright, we're back at the fabulous Bremgarten circuit in Bern, Switzerland, and the lap starts off with a relatively short sprint into turn 1, which takes us down through the quarry, then up through Passarelle El Scholz. Follows are a series of shallow corners until we arrive at Eimat, a slow speed right-hander, which takes us into Tenny, another right-hander, but this one is a medium speed corner. Careful as you exit the corner because you can easily lose the car through here. Next are another set of shallow turns, but eventually we make it into Forsthaus, the hairpin at the end of the lap. Be very careful here as this part of the track uses cobblestone and it is very slippery, but that brings us around and onto the main straight, and that is a lap around the Bremgarten circuit. And here we are in qualifying. It's raining, it's wet, it's difficult to control the car, but we come around to set a 2 minute 41.03 second lap. Quite slow, but hopefully we can find a little bit more time. I'm not hoping for anything good. We know that the car isn't performing very well in corners, and we next set a 2 minute 39.03, a slight improvement, 2 second improvement in fact. However, nowhere near close current pole setter Eli Bayol, who managed to put a 2 minute 16.9 second lap, so whatever happens, happens. And here are the previous Swiss Grand Prix winners. We managed to win the 1951 Swiss Grand Prix, which is quite nice, but let's take a look at the grid walkthrough. We have Gonzalez on pole, Fangio second, Mike Hawthorne is third, Hans Hermann 4th, who is replacing Lang, Nino Farina rounding off the top 5, 6th is Bayol, Trintignant 7th, Robert Manzon 8th, Roberto Mieres 9th, Sterling Moss 10th, Umberto Maglioli 11th, 12th is Sergio Mantovani, 13th Onofre Marimon, 14th is Luigi Villoresi, followed by Prince Bira in the Maserati in 15th, André Pilet 16th in his Simca Gordini. Next to him is Jean Bera in 17th, then follows Alberto Ascari in 18th, very bad for him. Andy Higgs is 19th and Luigi Musso starting from 20th. So here we are at the Swiss Grand Prix, once again a very fun track, at least for me. I really enjoy racing here. Hopefully we can do well here. But that's a pretty slow start on my end, so well, we'll have to fight. I don't know how well we'll do because there are a lot of corners here and I cannot go too fast through them. We already know that. So as we come now into turn 1 we have Luigi Musso right in front of us, but as we've come to expect, there are people who lose control through here, and we move up into 18th. We have Musso right behind us, Jambera in front of us in the Simca Gordini. Hopefully we can at least gain a few positions through AI stupidity, who knows, as we now come into this slow left-hander. That's a Maserati who lost control. We have Bera in front. We see one of our teammates up ahead, and Ascari crashes into the number 24 Simca Gordini. Never mind, but we move up into 16th. We still have Musa in front of us, Villoresi behind, but now we have a look at a replay of the start. Again, we see very slow start on my end. I was slow to react, in fact. I wasn't really paying attention, but eventually I got going, so that's good, I guess. But it wasn't a very good run into turn 1. I would have expected a bit better, but we eventually managed to gain a couple of positions due to the fact that the AI lost control of their cars, so that's good, I guess. And next we have a replay of Mike Hawthorne in the number 3 Ferrari. He goes wide through that right-hander, loses control of his Ferrari, crashes into the trees and breaks his front right wheel off. Next we have Gonzalez in his Ferrari, who comes into this right-hander and crashes straight into the hay bales, losing both his front wheels. Next we have Juan Manuel Fangio in the number 4 Mercedes, who decides to do a wall ride or something, I don't know, and flips his car upside down, and he is out of the Swiss Grand Prix as well. Next we have Herman Lang, who goes very wide and off the track, killing quite a lot of people there. And while obviously he cannot get back onto the track, the wall is quite solid, so that's the end of his race. And oh, glitch. That's a glitch, folks. That's a glitch. Next we have Luigi Musso in the number 20 Maserati, and I come from behind, punt him. It wasn't intentional, obviously, but for some reason he decided to retire from the race, despite the fact that I don't really see any serious damage done to his car. He has all 4 of his wheels, but either way he still decided to retire. So we are now in 11th. We are chasing after Umberto Malioli, who is almost 5 seconds up the road. Andre Pilet is behind us, less than about a second behind us, as we come into this right-hander, and we see Nino Farina, who is upside down there, but if I remember correctly, someone crashed into him and flipped him back over, so he will continue on. And here we have Luigi Villoresi, who loses his brakes, and we kinda saw the effects there. He went on to lost control of the car, went onto the hill, and now he kinda stopped on that cobbled part, which for some reason acts as a gravel trap. Next we have Andre Pilet in the number 15 Simca Gordini. He loses control of his car coming through that right-hander, and now he's trying to find his way back onto the track. However, he drives into the trees and loses both his front wheels. Next we have Jean Bera, his teammate, who loses control of his car as he's coming through Forsthaus here. Then he crashes into me and spinning me around. He tries to find his way around, then crashes into the Ferrari and loses his front right wheel, and he is also out of the Swiss Grand Prix. And that puts us up into 8th. Well, not quite yet, because the replay is we saw are a bit after this. However, because we got spun, we dropped down to 10th, and we see another accident there, and we move back up into 7th. This is lap 3, by the way, and here we see Maurice Trintignant coming around in his Ferrari, loses control through the right-hander. His car goes up the hill, it's being flipped over and over, and well, that's the end of his race, obviously. Next we have Alberto Ascari, who loses control of his Lancia and ends up on this weird part. And I actually sped up the footage here because this takes quite a while and didn't want to spend a lot of time here. And this is something, I think this happened last season, and I think it was Ascari back then as well. I'm not entirely sure, but I think that this was the second time it happened to that happened to Ascari. Anyway, we're now looking at Umberto Maglioli, who lost control of his Ferrari and is now trying to find his way back onto the track as Nino Farina crashes into his teammate, kind of flipping him around. However, he is trying to drive into the fence. I don't quite understand why. However, he ended up retiring because of that, and on lap, we are here on lap, about halfway through lap 3. I kind of touched the wall there, but luckily the car is still intact. We are in 6th now, and we started lap 4, and it looks like Roberto Mieres is out of the race as I lose control of my car and go up the hill. Thankfully, again, the car is quite intact, so we can still race on. But here is a replay of Roberto Mieres, who crashes into a Simca Gordini and loses both his front wheels. So that will put us up into 5th, I believe, once we get past him. Yep, that's 5th for us. And this is lap 5. I go wide for there, touch the wall. I'm being flung into the trees. I try to get back on the track. Hit some sort of a bump. Then Robert Manzo came from behind, hit my car, causing me to spin a lot. I tried to reverse back onto the track, but for some reason the car got stuck. I then accelerate into the trees for some reason, then reverse back onto the track. I managed to do it. However, one of the Simca came and crashed into me, broke my rear left wheel. Then someone else came and crashed into me again and broke my front right wheel, and that is the end for our Swiss Grand Prix. What a shame. And here is a replay. I touched the wall there and then was flung into the trees, then hit by Robert Manzo there, who lost his front left wheel, so he also gets to retire because of this. And there I am trying to get back onto the track, and I almost made it as the Maserati crashes into me, breaking my front left wheel. And then Sterling Moss actually hit me the third time actually, and broke my front left wheel. And here is a look at Manzon coming around. He crashes into me. We see his wheel kind of fly off screen, and that is it for his Grand Prix. And now we see Sterling Moss as he comes in to crash into me. His car is upside down, and that is the end of his race. Well, what can I say? I'm not entirely happy about the situation. It is only lap 5 out of 23, so quite an early retirement for us, but hey, what can you do? Could have happened to the best of us, I guess. So anyway, we are now looking at a replay of Eli Bayol on lap 17, who loses control of his Simca, crashes into the barriers there and loses his front right wheel. And next we have Nino Farina on lap 21, who lost control of his car, went up the hill there and then got stuck behind the wall once again, and he is out of the race. Fortunately enough for Nino Farina, he will get some points, as we now take a look at the man of the hour, Prince Bira, who comes around to finish the race. What an amazing win for the Thai driver, and Sergio Mantovani second, and Nino Farina, as I said, is third because he completed more than 20 laps. He actually retired on lap 21, so he does get 4 points. And here are the retirements, and unfortunately Andy Higgs is up in there, so not very happy about that, but hey, again, could have happened to the best of us. Plus, overall this wasn't a very good season for Andy. Hopefully things will change in 1955, who knows. But yeah, that was quite an embarrassing Swiss Grand Prix. Anyway, here are the career statistics, and this was Andy's 40th Grand Prix. His best start is from first, has 2 pole positions, has posted 8 fastest laps. His best finish is first, has completed 25 races, 23 of them were in the points, has won 13 Grand Prix, 2 of them at the Indianapolis 500, no wins in Monaco, has 3 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 149 points, has retired 15 times, has experienced 806 out of 1081 laps, has 5 bronze trophies, 2 silver trophies, 13 gold trophies, and as an extension 13 podiums. And now a quick look at the championship standings. Ascari is still in the lead and he might as well win the race, the championship, sorry. Jean Bera is second, Bira 4th, Umberto Maglioli, Jean Bera second, Prince Bira 3rd, Umberto Maglioli 4th, and Robert Manzon is in 5th, with Nino Farina climbing up into 6th thanks to his 3rd place here at the Swiss Grand Prix. And everyone has scored points all the way down to Sterling Moss, who is in 16th. He actually managed to post the fastest lap of the race, which is quite amazing considering that he retired quite early on in the race. So that was the Swiss Grand Prix. Not a very good race for Andy. Overall, the entire season wasn't very good for Andy, so take that as you will, I guess. 2 more races left in the championship, the Italian and Spanish Grand Prix. I'm not sure what to expect there, but considering that both tracks have a lot of straights and both of them have long straights, I guess Higgs might have a chance to do well in these races, so let's hope for the best. But anyways, that is it from me and this video. Don't forget to vote for next season's team, link is in the description. Also, I've started a second channel where I'll be playing all sorts of other types of games. Right now I'm doing a playthrough of Need for Speed Underground. If you're interested, there is a link to that in the description as well, and it will also appear as a end card, and there will probably be a information bubble up in the top right corner. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.